Hello, welcome back. Hmm. I'm drinking some oh shit. I'm listening to my own stream. Hold on. Currently drinking some chalky milk. That's what I'm enjoying. How's the food? Uh didn't actually eat anything. Thing is, I sort of just went to talk to my friends. Cuz this morning I already ate at like 9:30. So 2 hours ago. So it was like 2 hours ago from going to eat with my friends, so I still felt kind of full. And also just because like a side effect of the meth, which I like clearly notice it. Actually, like all the effects of the drug that I read about are like I notice very clearly. Like I feel more awake, right? So I get how I would have trouble sleeping if I were to eat it before going to bed. I don't feel as hungry when having it. I can very much tell that I don't feel as hungry, which is also interesting. Um, so yeah, I wasn't feeling as hungry, but also just because I already ate, like 2 hours ago. So you know, is it just me or is Simon's voice very low? Is it? Is my voice low? I can increase it more, if you want, or I just have my mouth far away from the mic. See, it was over, and a few minutes later, I see you back. What's up? Oh, sorry. Excuse me. No, I went to go eat with my friends. Well, I didn't eat with them. I just talked to them, and now I'm back. So I just ended the stream briefly, and just now I'm back, and we're gonna continue working on this. Well, we didn't work on it previously. We, I just sort of talked, but still, now I'm gonna start working on it. Where's caked up Boris? Nowhere. There's no caked up Boris. Talking to friends is indeed a good food. Yeah, I'll probably be hungry again in like an hour or two maybe. And then I'll eat and then also, you know, take the meds again. I'm still coasting out the first round of it. It's already been almost 4 hours, but it's still like chugging along. I can still feel it. I can still feel the meth in my system. So yeah, meth garden returns. Yeah, meth garden. I hope nobody misunderstands this. I hope. I'll definitely need to give context multiple times because we can't just say I took meth and leave it at that. A lot of people are gonna get concerned. So yeah, where were we? So separate elements and pose. Okay. So for the pose, I think it's actually gonna be quite obvious, or it's quite clear what pose I want. I basically just want this pose. Because for me, it just encapsulates the feeling of the war dancers. It fits their personality because it's not like a blind rage. It's very much a controlled, elegant sort of dance like elegant. I mean, it's brutish, but it's like a performance pose. It doesn't look like this isn't a pose you would strike if you're in the middle of a hectic fight. This is like a you're next kind of moment. Like he thinks he's in some sort of fucking stage play, which perfectly makes sense for how they're trained. And it shows that there's an elegance to their way of fighting. It's not just pure brutality. And also he has enough consciousness and self-control that he is able to strike these kinds of poses in the middle of battle. And it also shows that what kind of fucking monster is this that it can do like performative poses in the middle of a war zone? Like, fuck it, yeah, let me just strike a pose. You know? Like, Jesus, that'd be terrifying. It's like there's a dude just dancing. And I definitely like I want something that's more than just a flat base. Because this pose also forces well, okay, question. If I'm gonna make this into a miniature, do we want like a base for it? Um, no, that's not the right question. Let me rephrase that. Do we want the feet to be flat on the ground on the same level? Because then that can allow people to make their own bases. Wait, actually, no. I'm completely wrong with this. I was thinking like, oh, the feet have to be on the same level, flat on the ground, so that people can put their own bases on them if they want to, and not use the custom base. But then I was thinking, well, people that make miniatures can just they just decorate bases as well, so they can just make a base with an elevated platform on it to put his second foot on if the feet are at different levels. So it doesn't even matter if the feet are on different levels. But I'm sort of more thinking like this arm thing here. I sort of want to keep that over of like somebody desperately grabbing onto it as they're getting stepped on by the fucking war dancer. But that would also force it into the base because that would connect the base and the character. So it's like you can't have it with another base because the cloth looks weird. It's all wrinkled because somebody is supposed to grab on it. So maybe I'll just remove that element. Even though it's cool, it would make it more flexible because then you can put it on a different base. But then just have the feet be at different levels. So the same as this, kind of like 1 foot on the tip of the toe. Yeah, I do think I'll basically just take this pose. But yeah, let's what do we do? What do we do? But work beatboxing into your fuck. I mean, okay, here's the thing. I actually do like beatboxing as well. No, no, I don't beatbox. That's I mean I enjoy watching uh beatboxing like competitions and shit like that as well. That's also something I like. I haven't found a way to weasel it into the world though. I feel like that's a bit of it's getting to the limit of how much I can excuse things into the world cuz like beatboxing, where the fuck am I going to fit that in? The hooligans of the slums like to make thick rhymes with their lips and throats. That sounds horrible. But you know what I mean. You just hear beatboxing in the fucking slums of the bunker cities. What the fuck's that sound? Atmospheric beatboxing. But yeah. What did you eat? I didn't eat anything. I just sat and talked to them. I'm gonna eat something in like a while, but I wasn't hungry when I went to go eat with them. I just talked with them. Thought the stream ended just now? Yeah, it did. It did end. And I started it up again. Warboxer starts boxing in the middle of battle. I mean, we could there's vocalist mages who use their voice to like cast spells, like persuade people and make them hallucinate and stuff. So we could have a beatboxing vocalist just ripping some sick dubstep electronic music style beats, and everybody on the battlefield just what would that even do? They just have a sick montage, you know? He just boxes funk, the music genre funk, and everybody just starts acting all cool and like the main character, and then just get themselves killed. That'd be cool. You just make everybody else feel like they're invincible, and they walk out into the middle of gunfire and just fucking die. What if beatboxing was a language in a tiny part of the world? I mean, that'd be funny. Uh, I actually I liked watching beatboxing competitions. I haven't in a while, in a really long while. I wonder who's been winning lately. I completely forgot everybody's names as well. Like I got into it to the point where I like, started sort of remembering uh different beatboxers' names and enjoying their styles and shit. I completely forgot about it. It's been years, years, years. So this isn't like a recent interest. Okay, issue is I don't have any space on this page. I'm just gonna uh what do I do? There's no space. Hold on. I gotta pick out what I want. Whoops. Not right. The Control E the whole ding. Ding. Okay. And then I'll just copy over the ones that I need to use as reference. This guy I need this thing. And I need this. I need to remember the hand prayer thing as well. Yep. And that's pretty much everything. And we see about the rest. Use the animation timeline for layers? What? Who who does that? Do you do that? That's wild. Yeah, so let me write out everything that I remember wanting to add. So things. Warbor Sked. Also burnt. We pouches. Much it. Kind of gives me like cooler Fear and Hunger, not gonna lie. Would your game be a bit similar to that? Oh no. It's gonna be a point and click adventure. If you watch the video about it, I think I talked about what kind of game it would be. I don't remember actually now. Oh shit. My Chucky milk, no. Excuse me for the ASMR slurping sounds. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Right, it's not gonna be Fear and Hunger Star. It's gonna be a point and click adventure, mostly just focusing on the story and exploring more of the characters, specifically of the witch hunters like Jakob, Rufus, and Finn, Henry, and also the Bleeding Belfries, Tondri, the head of the Bleeding Belfries, and that sort of thing. It's more of a trial test to see if that sort of thing works to share more of the story. Yeah, so let's see. Um, so I think I wanna the head's pretty much perfect. I wanna keep it the same as keep it small for now. The head's perfect. I like the flow into the shoulder bits like this. I like that a lot. And then like we put the pattern here and then the wing pattern there and then like the little tuft of we probably won't be able to do that in the model unless we like thicken it out a lot because it's basically like a little point. Um, then we have like the little layered armor. I shouldn't be going this much into detail actually, because I still need to draw out the rest of the thing. Little side things. I'm thinking, are these just decorative, or do they connect to the satchels? I'm thinking maybe just decorative. So he would have two other straps that come down like this that hold the pouches and stuff that, and then he has the decorative ones going over it. My god, this is gonna be a nightmare to paint. I'm sorry, miniature painters, you're gonna have to suffer for this one. Fuck. Layered designs. I hope, like, texturally, I need to really do a good job at, like, separating each of the elements so that it's clear when you painted what's supposed to be what. Otherwise, if it's too much of a mess, it's just gonna be noise. So those are just decorative. Then we have the bomb pouches. They're gonna be here. So I would say 3 bombs per side, just to not make them look too small and not too big. Like this. And then we would have like a little separate pouch on the back that looks like a grenade. What I was thinking was they would also have um, these mana potions. Like this is like a typical thing that every mage has on hand, is like a mana potion that basically has like a salt crystal uh, inside or like layered between the cork layered between the cork and like 2 pieces of cork so it doesn't touch the liquid. But basically in the magic system, things can go critical. So if something has too much mana in it, which means it reaches criticality, it destroys itself. And in the case of water, it flash boils and turns to steam, releasing all the mana into the air. And with mages and stuff, they use that to their advantage, where you can't drink mana potions because they're salty as shit. They put salt in it to increase the maximum mana that they can put in the water. Um, so what they do instead is they have to release the mana into the air and then take it in from the air through their inputs. So what they do is they have these mana potions that are like on the edge of criticality. And then they have this cork that has a tiny salt crystal in it that also has an amount of mana in it. And when you push down this whole thing, it makes it so the piece of cork falls into the water and the piece of salt it was keeping away from the liquid falls into the water as well, dissolving and releasing the mana that was in the crystal into the mana potion, causing it to go critical, which means it flash boils and just releases basically a smoke bomb, a giant plume of smoke, or I guess vapor, water vapor, that has the mana in it. So it just releases it. And then the war dancer or whatever can use their input to like suck in the mana that just got released into the environment. So the war dancers have those too because they use mana to enhance their physical strength. Um, but in the case of the war dancers, the potion is a little different because I was thinking the potion would also have drugs in it. You gotta love drugs, like stimulants and basically, yeah, just stimulants, painkillers, stuff like that within, like, dissolved in the potion. So when they basically just put it on the ground, it turns into a giant plume of smoke, and then they suck in the mana, but they also, like, breathe in the stimulants and just, it's basically like a rage potion. It's a frenzy potion. So they get the mana they need, and then they also huff the fumes of the potion and go like, fuck, squeak out. Uh, who doesn't love drugs? I mean, I'm a certified drug lover myself, if you know what I mean. I mean, meth gang. The fellow you're working on a game with was DMing me trying to get free work. What do you mean? Oh, shit. Oh. I was wondering where those were. I put these, like, I think they're called chia seeds. I put chia seeds in the Chucky milk, um, just because. And I was like, huh, I'm drinking this. There's not many chia seeds. I think they're called chia seeds. The black little seeds that, like, soak up a lot of liquid. And I was wondering, huh, I'm drinking this and there's not many of them. It's because they've turned into a fucking brick at the bottom. Give me my chia seeds! Oh my... yummy! Fucking hell. I just ate a giant brick of chia. It felt... Oh my god. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. They're called chia seeds, right? They're black little seeds that expand in water. Fuck. The whole clump of chia seeds I put in just dropped into my mouth all at once. Now I'm just chewing a giant pile of chia seeds. Mm-mm. Sucks to lose. Oh, there's still more. Fuck. More at the bottom. Okay, that's enough for me. Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck. That was terrible. On Instagram? Uh, I mean, if you want to talk to me about it, Goob, message me on, like, Discord or something. Give me some context, because I am curious about it, but rather not in, like, the stream chat, probably. Yeah, but I am curious about it. Please, like, DM me about it. Consuming a whole brick. Man, calm down, calm down. Chia seed brick. A chia seed brick. Oh, in my teeth. My mouth is squeaky now. Horrible. Okay, anyway, sorry. We went off track. So, Bomb's here, and the mana potion back here, and then he has the weird, this thing on his back, right? Which is holding the bowl. This is like a really... This is gonna be really weird, because, okay, here. Like a side view, there's the guy, right? With his thick, muscly arms. Then we have the thing on his back, which is here. And then we have the bowl that the thing on his back is holding. It's a very wide model from front to back. Is that too much? I don't think so. It's cool. Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Guy on the back. Then we have the armored legs. Okay, about the armored legs, do we want to go with this? Or actually, I think I might want to go with the double layered version, the same as, like, the heavily armored version. It could be thinner metal, but I just like the design of, like, the 2 layers of these, like, uh, curved plates. It just makes it cooler. And a huge side boob. Pause. Huge. Wait, where did I put it? Oh, that's not. No, that's not the. Well, it does kind of look like a boob. That's not. What I drew here was the little. There's like a little belly button tube that comes out. That's not the nipple, and this is like a giant tit. This is like the rib cage, and that's the chest is like here. Hold on, let me. This is the chest, right? These are the ribs. That's the belly button, and this is like the stomach. That's not supposed to be a giant tit. Try playing Fear and Hunger? Hell no. I liked. I've watched a ton of people play Fear and Hunger. I've watched like 2, 3 playthroughs of it. Both like the first one and the second one, and I think I've had my fill. It's the type of game I really like watching because the designs are really cool and the world is really cool and the lore is very cool. But I suck at that kind of game, like just RPG style and also very hard RPG. Um, that's just not my strong suit. Sorry, I think the god of fear and hunger just tried to take me out. I'm alive. Um, I'm good. Jesus, what the hell? I swallowed my own spit and it got caught in my throat, and I almost just fucking died. My Discord is Drip Profit. Okay, thanks. I'll check it out after the stream. Please don't choke on your chia. Yeah, a chia seed dropped down my throat. While after it was stuck in my teeth. This is some horrible, disgusting descriptions, I guess. But yeah, it dropped into my throat and nearly fucking killed me. Um, this stream almost ended up on live leak. That can be wider than this. Look at that. That's fucking. I'd say that's pretty cool. And then just bare feet, no shoes, barefoot. He died? No, not yet. Not yet. And then the buff as fuck arms. Look at this cool guy. I think the arms are. And the tiny little head. I mean, that's pretty much what the dude is. Oh, right, the tubes. Forgot the tubes. There's got to be a tube here that like goes into the back. Oh, right, we need an air filter for the guy. We don't have a fucking air filter yet. Hold on. Right, this guy had it on his hip. Um, do we do the same? I mean, could just do the same. It is like a nice little detail. So we could remove 2 bombs. Terrible. Less firepower. Still, can remove 2 bombs and add like one of those filter pouches. Have the cable run down. We'd won't also when the model becomes a thing. I definitely want to like separate all the elements into like this cable would be would it be have to be it'd be the easiest way to do it, like have the cable separate and then like little holes here and here so you can connect it, because otherwise you'd have to draw or like paint around the cable and then the cable, like it'd just be a nightmare. What's the taste of those feet? My god. I'd say, I mean, what does the trenches taste like? It'd probably be sort of the same because, they've been marinating in the trenches. You got love drugs? What? Oh, you gotta love drugs. You got love drugs. The fuck's a love drug? No, I got meth. I have meth, and I've been taking meth, and it has cured my ADHD. That's the context. But no, basically, recently I went to a psychiatrist. They said I have ADHD, which I had a suspicion of, but they finally confirmed. And they said drugs could help. I mean, drugs, medicine. We have medicine that could help, and so they gave me meds, and the meds are really fucking good. I mean, I've taken them now and yesterday, and I've that's the most productive I've been in months. It basically fixed all the issues I have. I mean, I couldn't be happier at the moment with how my life is going. But the joke is, the drugs are funnily enough called something something, uh, methy methylpenidate. So I'm taking meth. Yippee! Yeah, I think this guy's too thin. Why is he so thin and lanky? I need a chunky boy. I need the midsection to be like really thick. Well, so basically we have a cable here that goes around the back to the kid. Kid? The cocoon. And then we have the cable from the gas mask that's going to the bag. This side. I want them on opposite sides so it doesn't like all just pile on one side. And then I want like a smaller cable out of here as well. Connects somewhere. So he has 3 cables. At least same as this. The smaller cable there. Wow. Want that too? I mean, I like more cables. Cables are always cool. Wouldn't complain having another cable. Maybe running along the other side, also going into the little guy. Hope this isn't weird, but how old are you? I'd rather not say. In all seriousness, I'm glad you're feeling better, my man. I know we all joke about it. I mean, well, no, nobody joked about it. I mean, like, it's lighthearted. It's not a serious thing. Or well, I guess it was. Like it was actually like affecting my life in a very negative way. Um, but I'm just glad I finally found a fix for it. You know. Uh, yeah. I do believe actually. I'm convinced that to a certain degree, the medicine also has a placebo effect. It's not intentional, obviously, but I feel like unintentionally it's having a placebo effect on me as well. Jokes about meth. I mean, yeah, that's funny though. Um, there, because okay, think about it. I take the medicine and become more productive, right? And that actually happened. Like I wasn't convinced that that would happen until I took it and it actually worked, and all the stuff that I had issues with went away, and I just started working without issue. But now that I'm convinced that that works, I feel like it has like a mild placebo effect because I wake up in the morning and I eat something and I take the meds. And because I take the meds, I think, okay, I take this and then it's time to work because I will become productive. So then I do start working. I guess my brain, like, I surely it would like convince myself a little bit. It's like starting a task. You know, it's like, oh, you take the drugs, so you got to make it worth it. So start working. So like subconsciously have a higher chance of starting to work because I took the drug and am convinced that it is going to help me work. So I do start working. Maybe they're just Tic Tacs. Maybe they don't even have an effect, and I am just fully placeboed into believing that I'm cured. Who knows? Sorry I asked. No worries. I mean, it's totally fine asking. Uncomfortable? No, no, no. I mean, it's totally fine asking. There's nothing wrong with that. I just rather wouldn't answer. There's nothing uncomfortable about that. Double productivity. Yeah, I'm getting the fucking baseline drug buffs, like the meth buffs, and then I'm also getting like a slight placebo buff on top of that, where subconsciously makes me more productive because I believe it will make me more productive. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Exactly. What the fuck did I hold on? I talked to you like I stared at the chat for a little bit to talk, and now I'm looking back at what I draw. I have no idea what the fuck this is. What is this? What the hell is this? It's garbage. What did I just? Okay, this is the body, and that's like the neck part, right? And that's the little thing on the back. Okay, good. I drew complete garbage. But yeah, now I'm cheating pretty much. What if shell-shaped craters full of massive javelins were shot into land, and war dancers could use them while charging in on the front line? That would be really fucking cool, actually. That'd be really cool. Have artillery shoot javelin-shaped projectiles, and then have the war dancers run in after and use them as weapons. I wouldn't be able to draw it on the design, but just as like a world concept, that is really cool. Let me write that down. Are you looking for any writers to help? Not at the moment. Build out scripts or lore? No, not at the moment. I have sufficient help with that. Stan, my writer, or Terror on Discord, he helps me a lot with like making sense of my scripts. Like most of the time, I the issue I have is like the scripts don't make sense. Like they have an idea, but they're just not written out the best that they could be, and he sort of just helps cleanse it of like he just cleans it up into a very cohesive, actually good written thing. And then also Shabby and Sadeka just really give big ideas. Uh, Waiting my coffee, hot coffee to cool down. I got motivated to work. Yeah, I guess there's sort of an element of that to it. I feel like there is because it's like it's prompting me to start being productive. It's like, okay, now it's time to be productive, and then I actually do it. What's the back of the armor look like? Yeah, I'm thinking about that. Mostly the back of the armor will be covered up. I mean, if we like there's the armholes like this, then there's the skirt of the armor, which on the back I think will be cut off. So this is like the leg armor, and then the back it's just ass out, uh, like this. And then you see the pants with like the droop and like the little connecting piece of cloth in the middle, like that, and the legs. This is completely out of proportion, but I'm just giving an example. Then the this top piece of the armor comes down here. Then there's like the two chains that go around, but these ones will connect to this thing, to the cocoon, and then the ones that come down from the front here will connect here. So basically like a backpack. like this. That. And then we see the gas pouch here on the side. That and the bombs, and then on the other side will be the mana potion. I'd say I'll only do one mana potion because I don't want to clutter the belt too much. And cape? No, no, no cape. Um, because I have this guy on the back. I don't want anything covering it. And also not anything too flowy. I do want him to look agile and nimble, even though he has a loincloth, I guess. So yeah, one mana potion and then like the bombs in the front. That'll be it. When did you start working on this story? Like 2 years ago? Maybe 2 years ago, I'd say. It's been like an on and off thing, or like slowly. I've not been like, oh, I gotta finish the story. There's not really a finish. I've just sort of been slowly adding to the world over time. No rush. How does he drink the mana potion? You don't drink a mana potion. You activate it, put it on the ground, and the mana inside releases into uh, a cloud of uh, uh, vapor, basically, and then you take the mana in from the air into your input, which is going to be like this little bowl shape on the back of the cocoon. So you don't drink mana potions. They're incredibly salty. It doesn't work, or you wouldn't want to. I'm interested how Varus armor officially officers will look. Maybe very flamboyant and flashy, like they're trying to one up each other with their tailored uniforms and their ceremonial decorations. Yeah, they would definitely be very over the top. I can't really imagine how yet. We'll have to see. I'll eventually need to design them, though I'm not really keen to design them anytime soon. I have other things. I think like war dancers and giant walking tanks will be a little more preferable than little soldier guys for now. Though I do want to get like the base Ram soldier and Varusian soldiers into miniature form. Still stuck on that just because they to me the base soldier of each faction sort of feels like the most important because it's like the baseline. It's what kind of introduces you into the mindset of each of the countries, right? You sort of see a bit of the country's personality in the armor or the uniform of the basic soldier, right? So it's like very important to get it right. I think with Rom, I've got it down sort of, but like I just recently changed the helmet again. It's still like the flared out helmet, but I got an idea. Oh, I'm just holding a normal pen. I got an idea to make the side pieces of the helmet that hug the ears be hands because like they worship Yorm and stuff, and Yorm's symbolism is a lot of hands and fingers and stuff. So I was thinking, like, if this is the helmet, they would have like hands come down like this that clasp the side of their face, which I think is really cool. So that's something I changed recently, which is kind of annoying uh, with the way I work. Is like nothing stays consistent. If I keep working on it, it'll keep changing. I'm never finished with the design, and they keep, to me at least, I think they keep getting better in like small increments. So I never can like settle down and just be like, yep, this is the Rom soldier and make a miniature of it. But I guess it doesn't have to be permanent. Like it's not like I need to fully 100% never change the design of the Rom soldier ever again after making a miniature. Then I can just make a new version of the miniature. That's it. But I just convinced myself that I need to perfect it before making a miniature, which I really don't. We'll see. I'll probably eventually get out of that and finally make a miniature of the Rom soldier. Yeah. I feel like I did a good job at like boiling down the essence of each faction into the soldier and also making it simple enough that it's like really easy to draw them out. Like it's not overly complex or anything. Like this is Rom soldier, you know, the pointy one piece or I guess two piece front and back chest plate with like a point, hard edges, the armpit things and the round helmet, and then just like a big gambeson coat makes sense for them. You know, and then Varus being all over the top with their segmented armor and fucking cinched waist, and puffy sleeves, fucking bastards, you know? It makes sense for them. They just want to show off, and the armor is more from an era of prosperity and when they were doing a lot of showing off instead, like parades and stuff, and showing their military might. So the armor became more and more uh decorated. No, that's not the right word. Just decorated. Let's just use the word decorated. They became more and more decorated instead of function. Uh and function sort of went to the side. It's still armor, but there's a lot of bits that aren't necessary, contrasted to ROM, where a lot of it's mostly just utility. Nothing really there. Like they still show bits of their faith with like the hands clasping the face, the star on the top of their helmets, and like they put patterns on their armor, but it's not like clearly wasting time to show ornamentation. Yeah, they don't clearly like waste time with details that aren't necessary, like the Varusian armor where their um their shirts are like double layered with a red layer underneath and a blue layer on the outside and these slits on the sides to show off the inner layer. That's unnecessary. Like there's no benefit to do that, but they still do it because it looks nice. Or the puffy pants being like more of a um like just a show off thing, like these plumes in front, and then the pants coming down like this. Normally, that's because way back in the day of Varus, pants were basically just a giant piece of cloth uh, tied to look like pants or to function as pants. The sort of the tie way, where in tie you can like fold a giant piece of cloth in a way to make a pants. Um, make a pants. This doesn't make sense. But now the pants are sewn. Like they're sewn into the shape of pants. You can put them on like pants, but they still have the loose cloth and the plume in front, like it was just one piece of cloth, just to keep that tradition. And the candle on the head. Bastards. And the little like hairs on the side of the socks. I believe raw money is called fingers and are somewhat finger shaped. Yeah, they're shaped like fingers. Yeah, that's what I mean. The badges being fingers would make sense since it already signifies wealth. Gotcha. Similar to how medieval coins are else significant rings. Blades, though, so it would have a practical benefit. Yeah, I guess so. I don't think it would be intentional though. I don't think they thought of the pants as being like, oh, this is a benefit against close combat. They think they just like the puffy pants. Could have different, but that just came as like a extra benefit. Could have different fingers on their shoulders or something. Like without being too ornate like Bruce. Yeah, that's actually really good. I like the finger idea. Could be like a would look like a dad grabbing the shoulder of his son because he's proud. The fingers on the shoulder. I'm proud of you. Daddy Yorm is with you. Like the spirit of him is in the background right here. His big nose and beard and flayed head. Did a good job today, soldier boy. Wait, soldier boy. Fingers. Ink. I'll remember that. Thank you. Thank you for that suggestion. I've been stuck on how to illustrate the ranks of ROM for a while, actually, so that is kind of a really good idea. Not kind of, it is a very good idea. Kind of reminds me of the caravan from Horizon Zero Dawn. A lot of ornamentation on. I don't know what that is, but Russian officer with too many feathers in the helmet. Oh, feathers in the helmet for sure is something that they do. I also wanted for them like the rope. I see in some like military contexts where they have like this like big rope that sort of goes. I don't even know where the fuck it goes. Does it like go under the armpit? I forgot. Or like here? I don't remember, but there's like ropes in military. Have you seen the cryptic Galapagos video? No, no, I haven't. Okay, what do I do now? I'm sort of stuck on. Like, I have this. Do I like if I just keep drawing this? I know where everything's supposed to be. I feel like I should just try and draw him in his pose. Every time I try to like think about something too much, like, oh, let me break down the design first, each element, and then draw the character, it sort of ends up stiff every time. So I feel like I should just go for it and draw the pose. Um, I will use this as reference, but I'm just gonna go look up some high performances to refresh my mind. Oh, perfect. Here he is. Yeah, I literally stole the pose from Code. Look at this. There it is. And now you can see it like if I put this next to the War Dancer dude, I didn't design anything for him. I just stole it. That's literally the same outfit. The strings, the square in the middle, the shoulder pads, the fucking cloth coming down, pants, the rings around the ankles and shit. It's just the same. Stompy shaky dance. I don't know about shaky, but yeah, very stompy. I mean, in the performances, different characters move in different ways. They're not all elegant. I mean, yes, they're elegant, but like differently. The giants use a lot of stomps, like the people playing giants stomp around and have very aggressive, sharp movements, more than like the angels or like Hanuman, monkey dude. I like his the most, because he moves like a monkey. Fun. Yeah, this is a person playing Hosakan, which is the king of the giants. He has 10 heads and 10 arms. Obviously, they can't really get a person to perform, or they couldn't find an actor with 10 arms, but he does wear a helmet that has 10 heads on it. I think 10. Probably no, not 10, but in the story he has 10. This is a fight scene. The fight scenes are interesting in the performances because it's sort of like move, 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 strike a pose, and then they do like a group pose like this, and then they move around a little more, and then there's another pose and another pose. So it's not like dynamic. They're rolling around, fucking clashing swords. It's more like you see they strike different poses of battle and hold them for an amount of time for you to like awe at the coolness of the pose, and then they do another one. And I just find that really neat. Look at this. Dude, this is Hanuman, the monkey guy fighting some giants. He's fucking climbing on them and shit. Dude's fighting for his life. Foot digging into his shoulder. And they have to hold this pose. Like that's gonna get a few more to go and get into the spirit of it. One's nice too. Look at the what the fuck? Dude's sick. Look at that one. Holy shit. Do the war dancers? I doubt. Not really. I think that's more of a thing in the performances that they do. Like, okay, like I said in the video about the war dancers, they practice before they go into battle. Of course, they get trained, but they also do like performative combat plays within like gladiatorial sort of stadiums, right? Or like stage plays. Um, I'm still sort of so there's two versions of it. There are stage performances where people who aren't like not actual war dancers, but people basically the same as this, where people dress up as different characters. There's people that dress up as war dancers and stuff, and they do a performance telling the story of like how the war dancers fell from heaven to aid in the war against Ram, to allow the Varusian people to ascend to the heavens and join the gods up there, obviously. Um, like that performance. That's one thing. And those are like exaggerated where they strike poses and stuff. Then there's a second version where it's like a show off to the masses of Varus, but also to people outside of Varus, like people from other countries that come and see the achievements of Varus uh, for like trade reasons. And those are held in like stadiums where they get a war dancer or multiple, I guess, to fight different things. But also like in a performative sort of sense. Like they emphasize the poses and set pieces and stuff to make it more over the top, right? In the real war, they would strike the poses just out of habit and the way they're trained, but it wouldn't be like on the stage or like in the gladiatorial pits where they strike it for a long time to gain a crowd reaction. It's more like like an instinctive like you next, and then they just go fucking ape shit. But they still have that elegance in them, it's ingrained in their training. So there's a level of that where it sort of still feels like they're performing for an invisible crowd. Well, what I said in the video, maybe I didn't say it in the video, but basically they're convinced or trained to fight like their crowd is the heavens themselves. So they are performing in front of the heavens, showing off their might and shit. So they still have like a level of performance in their fighting, but just not as much accurately. I mean I'm sure like after using the mana potion and like going berserk with like all the um drugs that are in it, they definitely like lose that performative part and just start tearing at people. It would be terrifying because they're already like very effective, even in like. Cause this is the funny part. Varus is so up their own ass that war dancers could be so much more effective if they didn't train them in this way, but they've sort of dug themselves into the hole of having it be this way, but also just because they're so, yeah, up their own ass. They think of themselves high and mighty, and so even like their war machines need to perform and look elegant and good. So the way they teach them is to have these poses and shit. Like if they just train them to fight normally, the war dancers would be even more terrifying and efficient. But they Varus doesn't let themselves do that because they're just like, no, we're elegant. We're like, even our war is fought with elegance and pizzazz, you know? So yeah. I guess some of that comes through when they rage, or when the war dancers rage, and you finally see that shell of vanity go away as they just go into a pure frenzy, and you sort of see what they're actually capable of, where they just. I would think like I can imagine a scene where some soldiers run into a bunker to hide from a war dancer, and then like the slits in the bunker, where the guns are normally mounted at, you just see the war dancer like tearing the concrete out of the foundations to make the slit bigger to crawl into the bunker. Like that's the extent of how strong they are. They can break apart concrete to just get to their fucking prey, I guess, in this scenario. A traitor war dancer. That's very interesting. That would be very rare. I can't imagine that. Uh, like that's like one in a million, probably. I mean, there's not a million war dancers, but you know what I mean. Like war dancers are like the epiphany, or like the maximum amount of gaslighting you could have gone through to the like. They've been indoctrinated by the Russian church. They grew up and were turned into a monster by them. So like to convince them to come over to your side would be a miracle. But I mean, it could happen. Thank you for the 100 czar. Appreciate it. Your videos inspire me to start my world building video game project. I love the war dancers. Keep it up. Thank you very much, Cryptic. Appreciate it. Could you defeat a war dancer by booing at them? I I I mean, I don't think they're. Well, maybe validation is their weakness. Maybe, I don't know. I don't imagine. Nah, probably not. It hurt them, their ego maybe a little bit. Like you could boo them and they'd be like, "Oh, come on, man. Why'd you like I'm trying my best." Or they just tear you apart. That could also. But yeah, anyway, draw. We got things to draw. Okay, let's start really small. I think because I just want to get the proportions right. I want him to look monstrous to a certain degree. So just giant fucking biceps and shit. I still want like the straight point and like the sort of slight head tilt, like upwards, like a superiority. I mean, I'm basically drawing the same pose. I think I did it pretty well in that one, anyways. I could imagine War Dancer War Arts might develop similar to Eastern martial arts during periods of peace, where the artists move take priority more than the. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there wouldn't really be a chance for it to develop in that way yet, because well, the war dancers were birthed from the war, so there hasn't been a period of peace for them. Sort of the reason why there's plays about them and stuff was because there started to be a level of concern within the people of Varus about the efficacy of war dancers. Because the origins of war dancers, I mean, if you haven't watched the video, I guess I can tell you a little about it. War dancers used to just be punished pillarmen. Like, pillarmen and the act of making pillarmen is very dangerous. Um, and can go wrong at many steps. So sometimes pillarmen go through the modifications and their mind doesn't make it, or their body isn't fit for climbing, or they just weren't made good enough, or some of them fall off the pillars or get injured on the pillars. And the churches don't like that because they put a lot of effort into making pillarmen good. And when pillarmen fail, they blame it on the pillarmen. And what they did to punish those pillarmen was to just throw them into the battlefield because they sort of thought to themselves, well, just getting rid of them wouldn't be worth it. They're still, even though they're injured or not perfect, they're still giant modified human monsters. Like those are still useful. So what they did was they would just drug the shit out of them and just throw them into the war. And to mock them even more, they put them in these humiliating costumes with like boar heads and pig heads or like monstrous masks just to like mock them even more, where it's like you failed us and the church and you've been cast down from heaven. So you're just nothing. So but the issue with that was, or the upside of that was, the pillarmen got to be used for something else. I guess that's an upside for the church, not for the pillarmen. They suffer, but they were really effective. Like, surprise, surprise, having a giant muscular thing go apeshit in a bunch of trenches does sort of help clear out those trenches. Like, even if they're not trained in that way or whatever, doesn't matter. They're still basically bears. Um, but the issue came when the soldiers that fought besides these cast down pillarmen, um, they started getting concerned because soldiers seeing these, pillarmen that they used to look up to, like in Varusian culture, pillarmen are the pinnacle of humanity. They're seen as these uh yeah, the pillars of humanity, these beacons that guide or are trained to guide them to salvation. And now the soldiers see these pillarmen that look mad and crazed and dressed up like fucking animals, just going wild in trenches, like completely contrasting their picture of pillarmen. And so that started getting back home to like Varus and the capital. Like when soldiers send letters back, they're like, yes, like the front is difficult and blah blah blah, whatever. I hope you're doing well, my love, my family, whatever. But like, by the way, there's pillarmen. Like, I saw a pillarman. We fought besides them, but they were mad and crazed. And what the fuck's going on? And that news started spreading more and more to the point where the Varus public was starting to be concerned. Like, what the hell is happening with pillarmen in the war? Like, why are there pillarmen in the war? And why the fuck are they dressed like that and whatever? And so Varus had to save face. They were like, well, you see, we weren't like punishing them or anything, or they're not crazed. What actually is happening is they chose to join the war because they saw visions. The pillarmen climbed the pillars, but instead of wanting to climb the pillars, they told us that they saw visions of the gods telling them that they should join the war, that the front is failing and they should join to protect the front to allow the other pillarmen to climb the pillars successfully. They sacrificed themselves. And the way they told the public about this was they started writing these plays everywhere. All the theaters in Varus and stuff started performing these plays talking about the pillarmen choosing to you know sacrifice their duty of climbing the pillars to join the war and fight alongside the Varusian people, to sort of quell those concerns, and it totally worked. Like, obviously, the Varusian average people do not have a straight way of like learning about the war, so the plays very much helped quell those concerns, and then also they had to modify the image of the war dancers by like making the costumes not as a way of mocking the war dancers, but making it more decorative and intentional, to help support that new image. And then obviously because the war dancers were actually efficient in the war, they thought to themselves as well, like, well, we used it we used it as a way to punish pillarmen, but like making modified soldiers for the sake of the war, just specifically to put them into the war and training them as such, would actually be really useful. So that's how the proper, like, intentionally trained and modified war dancers came about, and their story of, like, what they are. Um, So yeah, used to be punished pillarmen, because of the arrogance of the church, turned into no, these guys volunteered to, and then actually turned into we're intentionally making war dancers to send them into the war, and made them like a proper, you know, demon mask looking things. And also the demon or like mockery of like animal masks and stuff like that, that got changed to be a representation of the god of war, because the god of war in Varusian culture is like a giant war boar with like multiple heads. So the masks were sort of excused as, oh, they are like masks that show like a epithet, or like a representation of the god of war. So that's why they have tusks and ears to look like the god of war, like embodying the spirit of the god of war as they charge into battle. And they sort of tried to like nudge the masks in that direction as well, so they became more like decorated and proper, like this. Warbore is fun to say. It's indeed, it is very fun to say. Like an apple, and then he started to throw it back, hands on knees and everything. Bro, what the fuck? What are the pillarmen doing on the battlefield? He's throwing it back. Yeah, I think it's sort of funny that it's like it started off as a punishment, but then they had to save face to the people of Varus to make it seem like something else. And then they had to sink even more resources into it, which ended up just, I guess, in our like improving the actual war dancers. Like they had to sink resources into actually training them, into doing the performances, into making the like gladiatorial appearances, into making their armor and uniforms better looking so the soldiers don't question it. So it sort of ended up benefiting them by having to bullshit their way out of not seeming like petty. Yeah, petty, that's the word I was looking for. The high churches are indeed very petty. How long will war dancers survive on the battlefield? I don't know. I sort of feel like they wouldn't survive that long. they're used like a battering ram, you know? If they're like you drop them on positions that are unbreakable or that are very heavily fortified. Like there's a stalemate between Ram and Varus in some part of the trenches. Um we have trouble breaking through it. They've set up defenses and stuff like that. And the normal soldiers don't suffice. That's when you bring in a war dancer. More specifically, you bring in one of these war dancers, the armored war dancers, one of these, and just basically use them as a bunker buster. Just break open the formation in whatever way that matters. So it doesn't matter if they survive really, because their main goal is just to break the thing that is supposed to be unbreakable. Um, so they're just armored up to shit. They have a cable with like multiple mages casting spells through their giant fucking cannon, and just have them walk forward. Just have them walk straight in a line through whatever the fuck you want to have be gone. So if the war dancers are dominant the battlefield, wouldn't the that forces make something in return? Well, yeah, of course. That's sort of the tug of war or like back and forth of Ram and Varus. I like how they like try to balance each other out. Like both sides have very powerful units that try to deal with each other. The war dancers did come. I don't know if the war dancers came before or after the walking bishops, like the tanks. But like the war dancers are a counter to the tanks, so I think they probably came after the tanks. Because the tanks they're nimble and stuff, but they do have a limited vision cone, and if you can maneuver around that quick enough, then you're pretty much fine. And the smaller guns on the tanks don't really do anything to the war dancers, so war dancers normally just climb on top of them and rip the fucking turret off. Um, multi-armed war dancers? Yes, yes, they exist. Multi-armed war dancers, 100%. The reason I'm only drawing one with two arms is because for the first model that I'm making, or that I want to have, I just want sort of like a baseline war dancer that you can use for anything. If we go into like more specific designs, it becomes less and less flexible. I mean, already at this point, it is very. I don't see many situations where you could use this in an actual D&D campaign because visually it is very specific, isn't it? It's like sort of steampunky medieval with Thai influences. So like you need a certain type of D&D world to be allowed to like put this. I mean, I guess you can spin it in your own way. D&D has no limits, so you could definitely be like, oh, there was this dungeon where there's like an ancient race of people that used to modify people, and now there's like a remnant of that still roaming the dungeons and defending it till this day, and then just put a war dancer in there if you want, I guess. But you know what I mean. It's like it gets harder and harder the more specific a model becomes. So it's a lot easier to have like very like, oh, just a bear wolf thing, and you can put a bear wolf thing fucking anywhere because there's no like contextual design on it that like specifically forces it into a niche. But with this, it like forces you to a certain extent. Um, yeah. So this already forces you. So if I made like a four-armed like elephant-headed war dancer just as the first one, that's even more niche. Um, so I'd rather just want a normal one now, and then I definitely want like a four-armed fucking elephant-headed one for sure in the future. I like the flow of this. I want the torso to be. Nope. I think this is good. I like the raised chest. So if I want It's pretty much the same pose, exactly. Just trying to make it a little more fluid, I guess. Fluid, not that fluid. Yeah, the pelvis is facing like sort of that way because it's impossible if we want the pelvis to face fucking forward while this leg's going here and this there. So the helmet would be sort of here. Would that work? 1:30 a.m. at the moment. Jesus. Tabletop war game when? I don't. Nah. Um, guys, I had a car perpendicular to the road in front of my house, revving its engine at me for like half a minute at 1:30 a.m. And I live remotely, and when I went out to check on them, they drove away. Help. What the fuck? Weird. Did they ever stitch two people together? Well, yeah, of course. How do you think they get multiple arms? You sort of just need two people. Yeah, how do they get food to the pillarmen climbing the pillars? Well, I sort of did a bad job of explaining how the pillarmen, like, how they climb. It's not like a death race. Like, they're not going from the base and then just trying to make it all the way to the top with, like, uh, uh, supplies that they have on them and just try to make it and then drop dead off the pillar every time. That's the way it happens is a lot more slow and methodical. So they're more like builders, if that they're like engineers, pretty much, weirdly. Um, so the they send Pillarmen up with supplies and stuff like that. Then the Pillarmen set up outposts, and then they come back down, get more supplies, set up another outpost, climb further, come down, go up, and as they build up the supports, human climbers take go up those supports and then sort of build out stations and outposts and stuff to send more supplies up. So Pillarmen last a lot longer than you think. It's they go up and down the pillar constantly, not just up once. Yeah, that's pretty much how they work. Still not sure how the head will or what way the head will look. I don't want to get too stiff. Like I think what I'm doing right now is not good because if I'm drawing on top of this, it's gonna get too stiff. So trying to like not think too much about the proportions. If the proportions go like way over the top, then so be it. The war dancer, they can do whatever the fuck they want. Yeah. So I want to give him like the chest plate that ends at the stomach. Not thinking too much about proportions. Get something that flows, looks nice. It's the first goal. To me, this feels a little stiff for some reason. Still not right. I should have drawn the armor right from the get-go. The issue. I keep thinking too much about it. If I draw the like underlying anatomy and stuff, it sort of ends up looking stiff because I'm trying to make it anatomically correct, but it doesn't have to. But we'll just keep tweaking this. Yeah. The issue is, I think, or one of the issues is, on this original version, he has a cloth skirt, which I could sort of like make flow upwards to help show the motion of how he's moving. Um, and now because it's like metal, it has to sort of be stiff, you know, because it's metal. I'm kind of struggling with how that would look, because this whole thing will get crunched down basically, because he's lifting a knee. Okay, and the fucking bombs here as well. Guess I can have the cable that connects him to the thing on his back sort of like floating upwards to show the momentum a little more. I'll keep tweaking this. I don't think I need to do another sketch. I'll just keep like fiddling with this until I feel like it's right. I think the head's still too big. I really want this guy to look huge. Hold on, let me put a person down for reference. Trying to achieve. So like that. So there, I want his head to be basically human-sized, while his body is twice the size. Like that. And then his hidden head, his secret head, is this little thing he's wearing. Main goal right now is just to get the proportions and the flow of the pose right. It's important. So gotta make it as messy as I want. Just want to get the pose right. Hmm. I feel like this one flows differently somehow. I think it's because his head needs to be taller. I need more space on the traps. Too crunched down. Do you do drawing sessions like this every morning? No. Well, actually, it might become a thing now that I have meth. And I feel a lot more motivated to draw. So maybe we could definitely have some streams more often. It looks, you know what it looks like? You know what it fucking looks like? I completely forgot his name. Looks like this. God damn. To me, the shoulder it's just him. Fuck. Doing a SpongeBob villain. Meth equals ADHD medications. Oh, sorry. Yeah, context. I have ADHD medication that's called methylphenidate. Methylphen. Yeah, methylphenidate. Because I got diagnosed with ADHD like yesterday. I'm starting to take the meds, and holy shit, are they helpful? But I'm calling them meth because that's the first word, and haha, funny, I'm taking meth. Man Ray. Yeah, it looks like fucking Man Ray. I hate it. How did I mess it up this badly? I think a reason is like I'm drawing this as like one shape for some reason. I like see okay, so I'm drawing it like this and then this, which is not I want it more like this, so the triangle, and then the shoulders. Like that. Like you can see it here where it's not the same on the same shape. Right? So actually what I should do is I should probably draw just this first. So fully Man Ray, and then add the shoulder pieces to it. That might help. Holy shit, this is so off perspective. It hurts. Just keep drawing it. It's gonna get better. His little fucking arms. It still looks like that. Give me some fucking time, man. God damn. It still looks like man. No shit. I haven't finished drawing the damn thing. If I finish drawing, rendering, and fucking painting it, and then it still looks like Man Ray, okay, fair enough, you can say it, but not yet. I already said it looks like Man Ray. I'm trying to fix it. 3-4 methan. Oh, Doom. MF Doom. Gotta love him. Rest in peace. What is this? Hands like little shitty. Yeah. Turned into Moist Critical. I don't think Moist Critical is that animated with his voice ever, is he? Man Ray inspired, that is. And this arm's look at the fucking this arm's like a tiny baby arm. Give him a fucking shoulder. Jesus, come on. Big ass shoulder. And then the and then thank you. Bam! Just fuck off arm. Giant ass arm. Up. And then give him the armor. His armor basically fits him like a tank top. It's quite goofy. Whoa, 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 hold on. What the fuck am I doing? What the fuck? Completely wrong. There. There you go. That's more like it. Big, thick fucking boy. That too thick? Might be a little too thick. We'll see, we'll see. Let's cinch it in a little more. Gotta give him that hourglass figure, you know? Starting to come together. Now his legs look small, though. The drawing's slowly getting bigger. I gotta increase the legs. I'm so toasted right now. I'm so tired. I feel like I'm gonna pass out. Go sleep. You should sleep. Never too thick, indeed. There's nothing. Never too thick. Can't draw. I'll figure out where the cloth is blowing later. Put it that way for now. slowly getting there. I think I actually his leg's not high enough. He's sort of standing too tall, or not as um. This leg higher. Yeah, a little better, more aggressive. And then let's draw the decorative bands. Actually, not yet. And get the main shape, the armor, right first. I think this arm's still too short. Shoulders, like, here. Long, long. Shoulder needs space to be as well. That. Where the fuck are the man's traps, though? Like, he should have, like, boulderous traps. There's no space in that for the armor. He can't spread his wings. He may like the armor to not impede his movement. The armor needs to be cut basically like this, because his fucking traps would come out like that. Bro is bro is massive. Do the pose. Oh my god. He's doing a lat spread. Fuck. So yeah, basically a metal tank top. He's and his traps as well. Like the armor needs to be this. He can't be contained. Hey there, love your stuff, but quick question. Why are you redrawing the same pose as the first finished illustration? Personally, I would go for something else, like a more actiony pose. I mean, I like this pose. That's why I'm redrawing it. I'm making it a miniature, but the armor on this one is I changed the armor, so I want to redraw it with different armor. And I don't just want to draw over this one, because anytime I draw over something I already drew, it sort of just looks stiff. So I just want to do it again, rather. Riley, Riley, children of I forgot where you are, with a glorious view. Custom made, so why wouldn't they? There, what? Oh, yeah, I guess so. They are custom made. I'm just thinking, okay, there needs to be some sort of cloth here. We can't just have him have a metal tank top. Um, like here, something clothy here needs to be. But how? Wait, did I do cloth in the original? I mean, I didn't give him anything there, but everything else covered him enough that it didn't really look like he was just wearing a tank top. So what do we do? Like if we give him like just arm like cloth up until the arms, then it looks like he's wearing a t-shirt, which doesn't work. We can't give him a t-shirt either, because that's just weird. Oh, I guess I could move this band up to the edge of where the cloth ends, and that would sort of like maybe some like frayed cloth here. Oh, but would it be frayed? They'd make something that fits the damn bastard. Hold on, I gotta look up Muay Thai. Okay, yeah, that can work, because the Muay Thai like armbands, or is this from Ongbak? Is this the guy from Ongbak? I need to watch that movie again. The Thai like fighting movie where the dude's just looking for his elephant. The main character just looks for his elephant. I think that's called Ongbak. But yeah, the band is actually higher up. I don't know why I put it here. So that could be like the cutoff point where the cloth ends, and then we can show more of the big ass bicep, big old, big old bicep. You know what's great actually? Um, the drugs. No, the drug I'm taking, like the meth. Another great thing that I realized, like since yesterday already, since the first time I took it, because the main issue I have with doing things is starting doing them. Um, I don't need the drug the whole time because at this point I've taken it in like 9 a.m. in the morning, so it's already worn off. I can already feel it that like that need to do things is gone. But I'm still drawing because well I already fucking started it. You know, like I can draw when I've started, but it's such a nightmare to start it. So now that the drug has sort of helped me push through that phase and like already gotten me started, I'm fine. But I will take it again probably after I've eaten something. But I still haven't eaten lunch. Hey, are you still looking for voice actors for the games? Not at the moment. I'm putting that on hold for now. Um, I have some other things that I want to do, and the game progress is still not anywhere close to where we would need voices. So no need for it yet. I'll look for them properly when the time comes. I think this arm's a little small as well, isn't it? Can't get myself to start doing most things, but when I get going, I'm fine. Exactly. That's the thing. I guess like for now it's fine because I'm solely focusing on one thing. Um, but if I like have to try do other things after this, I'm probably gonna have some trouble. Um, so I'd rather take it again. Oh, what's that notification? Oh, thank you for the cheers. 1,000 bits. Jesus Christ. That's I think that's the first cheers we got. Appreciate it. I don't know how those work actually. I don't know where I actually completely forgot where the money from Twitch goes. But yeah, thank you very much. Oh no, it goes right into the bank. Right. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Where's the notifications? I want to read your name, but I don't know where the hell to look at it. Docs. That's no. What? There's no fucking. Who gave me the bits? Can somebody tell me who gave me the bits so I can thank them? Snowball and I lose inspiration. Yeah. My issue is finishing them. Can start 1 million different projects. Oh yeah, finishing them as well. Like for me, this part of the project is the most fun. The brainstorming, the designing, the figuring out the pose and stuff. But then as soon as it gets to like rendering and cleaning it up fully, I like and my meth is definitely gonna help me with that. All right, I'm just gonna ask it. Do war dancers Pillarmen still have their carrots and beans, or do the church cut them off? I don't actually know. That's a very good question. Not sure. The answer is I'm not sure. Lore-wise, I'm not sure what would be more interesting. Castration was a thing, like obviously. And the funny thing is, the mages from the get go, like my inspiration to make mages like really tall and lanky, was from castrates. Oh, thank you for. Oh, God damn it, I missed it again, and I don't know where the fuck to look it up. Um, Bestia Bestia Valensto. Probably butchered that, but thank you very much for the bits. Appreciate it. And whoever just I think you followed. Thank you for that as well. I don't know what you did. I missed it. Ah, follow. Okay, yes. Ryloff, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Actually, for me, Audible has had a really good, what has been a really good meth, because I'm invested in the story, but I have to be doing something with my hands while listening, so I just start cleaning and doing tasks. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I never had anything like that, like something that triggered me to work. You know, listening to music and stuff like that didn't work. I would just listen to music. I can't get myself to do anything else. Thank you, Myriad, for the clarification. Okay, I think it's getting there. Hmm. Do we are the wings armor? I drew it as armor here, and also I'm sort of not happy with this piece of armor. I like the rest, but this piece I'm bothered by how it would be connected to the rest. You could definitely put like a leather connection here, like with studs, just connect it to the top bit loosely and then just tie it to the arm somehow. So it just moves with the arm. I just don't like that there's like a pinching point here. Like you could totally pinch your. Oh, I could pinch their nips. Oh, that'd be terrible. Even with their strength, especially, they could cut their own nip off. If it's like connected by rope around or like by a band around their arm here and here. It's like a pair of scissors, pretty much, with the chest plate. You could accidentally cut their nips off. That's terrible. That's why I don't like it. Goodness. I'm torturing these poor boys, just giving them fucking hazardous armor. So yeah, I guess that's the best solution. So I'll just make it as such. Let me remove the club for now. I can't see shit. So just like a teardrop shaped piece of armor. I mean, I could have it more like this, like splayed out, and then it would save the nip. Leave no armor and put piercing. What if we connect the armor to nipple piercings? That would solve everything. Then the nipples are the armor. Something like that. And then the shoulder. Bam, big ass shoulder. Bicep. Boom. There you go. Like that. Yeah, I think let's like sort of flare it out more to help save that nip. Would that restrict? I mean, it doesn't matter much, but I just want to think about it a little. would that restrict the fuck movement? Like they could, it would definitely restrict the movement inwards. But like upwards is fine. Yeah, it's fine enough. Because I sort of am taking it from here, but just not as extreme. These. Doesn't maybe look even as good as those. Hold on. Something's the issue. It looks like a fucking elephant. Well, actually, looks like an elephant. Like this. Yeah, like an elephant ear. Is that too much? Thing is, though, might be for some reason. Thinking about it. If I make it more subtle, maybe. Like more elegant looking. I don't want like too much. I'm bothered by this shape. I want something overlapping, I think. Just this shape isn't right. Is let's go back to the original first. Got it again. That this is what we got. This is cloth. Hmm. Clear up all this overlapping. That. That already looks. Not sure about the elephant. Two 20,000 Idir Yummers. Thank you very much, Snup. Wait, how much is that? What is that? IDR? Thank you very much for that. Hold on, let me. I want to. What is that currency? Indonesian rupees? Wait, rupees? What the fuck? Rupiah. Is that what it is? I'll wait for confirmation. But yeah, thank you very much for the support. Appreciate it. Yeah, maybe a side plate more like this might work, where it goes in like that, comes out, and sort of mimics the shape of the bigger plates as well. so it like flows with them. It's like spike, spike, spike. That might work better. I think. Okay, cool. Still playing Mordhau. Uh, didn't the game get fucked? Isn't it like the servers are fucked for some reason? Isn't it like in Ukraine? Or aren't they based in Ukraine or something? Could be the reason. But yeah, it's really a shame because I very much enjoyed the game. I didn't even play the game properly. Well, properly. Normally the sword play is the most interesting part of the game, like the melee combat, but I just played with the bow because I really liked the bow in that game. But I think it's fucked now. Not sure though. I mean, all my friends that play it said it's fucked. Which is kind of a shame because thing is, yesterday we tried playing Chivalry, which is basically Mordhau, but different. It just has a few different things, but it's basically just Mordhau. But for some reason, I absolutely hated it. Mo- Chivalry, like Chivalry 2. I don't know. I don't know why, but compared to Mordhau, I just absolutely hated it. It was not fun. Like the hit sound, it was something it's hard to explain, but for some reason everything felt a little off. Like after playing Mordhau, the characters felt so fat, like in Chivalry. Like it was impossible to assist a friend in a fight because you just bash him in the back of the fucking head. Like in Mordhau, I sort of felt like I could maneuver around people a lot easier, but in Chivalry, they're fucking wide and shit, and the combat just felt so. I don't know. I couldn't explain it, but it just felt different and not in a way that I liked. And the other issue was like, especially for me, if you know Mordhau, the hit sound and the kill sound in Mordhau, or like a headshot sound, is so satisfying. Like the hit sound in or the kill sound in Mordhau is like hitting the jackpot, smashing a pan over their head and ringing a bell at the same time. It's like perfect serotonin boost every time you hit a shot or like hit somebody. It just goes and it's so it's just meaty, right? But then in Chivalry, I don't know, like the weapons just felt like I just hit somebody and it was just like, yeah, you hit them. Hooray. Or like with the bow especially. Holy fuck. I tried the bow in that game. Not to mention the bow was absolute garbage. Like it moved slower than a fucking I mean Nerf darts don't move slow, but that's the only thing I can think of, I guess. It moved slower than a Nerf dart. It just sort of floated through the air and then just dropped like a motherfucker. Like I'd have a better chance throwing the arrows. And so, like, it wasn't fun playing with bows, but also enemy archers were completely useless. Like, I saw the arrow coming from a mile away, and you just walk to the side. Like, yeah, in Mordhau, you do that to an extent as well, but it was sort of, it felt like the perfect fairness, where it's like you had to estimate sort of how the dance of the battle went when you playing archer, because like people moved back and forth when they were fighting each other to go in and out of their melee ranges. So you sort of had to guess, like, okay, he's about to defend, so he's moving backwards, so I have to shoot behind him. But in Chivalry, I tried to do that, and fucking nothing. I couldn't hit anything. And because everybody was thick as fuck, 90% of the shots, if they hit anything, was friendlies. Because it was just, I don't know what happened, but everyone's so wide. And then when I hit them, the hit sound of bows is even worse. The hit sound is like that. It's there you go. You hit your target. Like it just spritzed some water on them. It was nothing. It didn't feel satisfying in the slightest. Obviously, people like the game, no shit. But like for some reason, for me, I just absolutely didn't. I was like, yeah, nah, fuck this, and I refunded the game. I was like, Jesus Christ. We bought it because it was on discount. It was like 100 baht, which is like $1, like $2. Not $2. It was like $3. So we tried playing it because Mordhau apparently was down as well, but I nah, not at all. First match in, and I was like, never mind. This is not. Did you get the upgraded bows? What upgraded bows? There's upgraded bows? I mean, even if there were, I don't feel motivated to play it at all. I was sick of it right out of the fucking tutorial for some reason. Maybe it was just because I was impatient, but the tutorial dragged on for a very long time. Um, and then it forced you to watch a cutscene, and like, okay, you had the tutorial, you couldn't skip the dialogue in the tutorial. Um, then after that, it forced you into a match. You had to watch a cinematic first. You couldn't skip the cinematic. Then it introduced the map, which you also couldn't skip. And then it had a countdown before the match started, which obviously you can't skip. And then the fight happened. And I was already sick of it. I was like, just no. Get me out of here. I don't have the patience for this shit. I've been playing games where where like the start of the match is so much quicker where I just can't anymore. I appreciate the artistry of games where they have like cinematic cutscenes and like countdowns first to like show the map and see everybody stand there and prepare and whatever. But I've played now like other games that just like cut down that process so much where I've been spoiled and now I'm like I don't have the patience. Like just get me into the match and get me out of the match as fast as possible. I don't give a shit about anything else. Like I can't stand games where at the end of the game they show you a play of the game and you can't skip it. And it's just like, yeah, I get it. It's not even like a loser thing where it's like, I can't stand watching them win and seeing the cinematic at the end. It's like, no, it's just, I would rather just start the next round like right away. And then it's like, oh, the play of the game cinematic, and then the stats coming up on the screen and the XP you gain, and all of that like pops up on the screen individually, and each of the bars fills, and it's like, just fuck off! Like I want to start the next match. Um, I can't look. But yeah, that's my rant, I guess. But yeah, I think that's the. I don't know what games I've played. I don't remember off the top of my head what games do that. But anytime they do, I can't stand it. Unless it's Arc Raiders. That one I'll give a pass for some reason. Arc Raiders, I got into the second playtest, and holy fuck was that game good. Uh, it takes so damn long. It does. Arc Raiders, they only have like a really short intro when you go into the match, where your character like walks down a walkway and enters like a weird pod thing that launches him down a tunnel. I appreciate that one for some reason. Maybe if I played it longer, I'd start getting annoyed by it. But for now, no. And actually I don't know if that cutscene playing is hiding an amount of the loading time, if you know what I mean. Like, does it load while the cutscene's playing, or is it playing the cutscene and then it loads the game? If it does that, then that's kind of stupid. So I guess it probably does load the game in the background, and that's why the loading time afterwards isn't that long. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I appreciate that just because I like the finals and fucking Embark. They're doing really good. I'm thinking of Chivalry 2, not 1. Which one were you talking about? Chivalry 2, 2. That's the one that we tried playing. Wait, what? Oh, stupid. I put it background. I put it around the wrong way. Go this way. It's go this way. Would that look good? I'm not sure if I actually like that. I think it's too much. If that makes sense. Like, three of these next to each other is just a little much. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna stick with what I designed here. All that work just to say, never mind. Yeah, that's it. That's good enough. I like that more. Mutton Blade is fun, but blocking deflecting blows with anything that is not a shield is a pain. Yeah. I wish I was good at those kinds of games with like the dynamic melee combat, with like the hit registration being in lines and you being able to like delay and quicken your swing. I wish I was good at those because it seems so much fun. But my brain just doesn't work like that. Like I have terrible like combat sense, you know? Like I'm very bad at reacting things with the right input at the right time. That's like my kryptonite. Um in real life and in games. Like I can't fight in real life for the life of me either. If somebody starts punching me, I just sort of look at them like I'm confused. I get stun lock because I'm like, oh, what the fuck do I do? Um, 'Cause I can't figure out which. It's like overwhelming, you know. Like same within games. It's, if they start swinging, I'm like, oh, what buttons? What are buttons? How big would that mini be? This is like a. If this is like a normal like average mini, normal average mini. What's a normal average? Um, D&D mini size is 30 centimeters. What the? Pretty big. Yeah, probably like average height is 1 inch. Just 1 inch. Is 1 inch the average height of a mini? Confirm, please. I've never played with minis. Like I played D&D, but it's always been online and with like programs and stuff. So I've never actually like handled an actual miniature. What am I doing? Sort of bothered by the shoulders. There ain't right. Fine for now though. So clean up this armor. I think if we add a lot of layers to the armor, it would help show the scale of the character more. So instead of having like really big sections of armor or like segments in the skirt and like also here on the neck, we have like a bunch of them. Because that helps like give context. Because you sort of know how big segmented armor or like how many segments normally a segmented piece of armor has when you look at it. So it having like twice the amount of segments makes you sort of feel like, oh, that's a lot bigger. And also the segments will overlap from bottom to top. So like this. Play Souls games, no problem, but the directional blocking throws me through a loop. Huh. Yeah, I'm shit at both. I can't do both, so I I'm like I play the finals, which is like a sort of high-paced uh PvP shooter, which normally I'm also terrible at. Like I'm bad at aiming, but the gods of Embark bestowed upon us a weapon that does not require aim, thank goodness, which is the sledgehammer. And you'd be surprised how actually effective a melee weapon can be in a PvP shooter. Um, because there's buildings and destruction and a lot of ways of getting closer to somebody or having somebody stay in one place. So the sledgehammer is just it's wonderful because it's so satisfying to just play a shooter but just not have to shoot. You play a shooter but fuck you, I'm just gonna smash you with a hammer. It's addicting. It is really addicting. Like the more you go into it, the more like I keep finding out more things about the game, and every time I'm like, oh, I can't wait to try that. So you know what I recently found out? There's a gun in the game called the lock bolt, or I guess it's an equipment. The heavy class. So I only play the heavy class. I don't play any of the other fucking weak bullshit classes. But the heavy has something called a lock bolt, which basically shoots out a little anchor. And in the area where you shoot it, anything that's within that area gets anchored to the center. So if you shoot it next to a person, that person gets anchored, and then they can't get out of the circle. They can move around wherever they want within the circle, but they can't get out of it. So they can also shoot the anchor to destroy it, but most people, for some reason, don't bother shooting it. Well, actually, the reason being it has a lot of health. So if you got lock bolted, it'd be better if you used the ammunition to shoot the guy who lock bolted you instead of shooting the lock bolt. Because if you shoot the lock bolt, you'd be dead by the time you destroy it and then turn to the person who actually lock bolted you. So normally you use this to get in close quarters. So you'd use it for feisty little guys, like small, like light classes and stuff, to get them stay in one place so you can go to them and actually beat the shit out of them. But the thing is, items or like objects also get lock bolted. So or not objects, objectives get lock bolted. I don't know if it does and the main thing about the finals is it's not just like PvP, you shoot other players and win by that. You win by putting money into this thing called a cash out box and then defending the cash out box so nobody else steals it. So it's like a tower, not a tower defense, but you protect this thing, and you have to prevent people from going up to it and stealing it. And going up to it and stealing it takes an amount of time and causes an alarm to go off. So you have time to like react to it, go down and shoot them, or have the cash out drop to a lower floor, or have it float up to the other floor, or block them somehow to stop the cash out, to stop them from stealing it. And the thing is, the cash out is normally in a spot in the map that is, defendable. So it's like in a building or like in a location where there's walls. Some of them are a little bullshit where they're just out in the open, but there's still ways to deal with it. But the thing is, when it's out in the open, it's really hard for anybody else to steal it because you can get shot at from any angle. So what you can do is you can shoot the lock bolt next to the cash out, and it'll have a line going to the cash out. So it's connected to the cash out, but nothing happens because, well, the anchor doesn't like pull things in. It just lets them stay where they are. But what you can do is you can put like an object next to the cash out, like a barrel, or like a gas canister, and you can shoot the lock bolt onto the gas canister, and then the lock bolt connects to the cash out, and then you can pick up the canister and run with it, so the cash out gets dragged behind you. So you can move it with our anchor. So so what that means is you can steal a cash out and then blow a hole into a wall, pick up an item, anchor it to the cash out, and then drag the cash out into the open so that everybody has to deal with it in the fucking open and just move it, which is wonderful. And I tried it and it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. It's the most stupid thing because you could just move it. I mean, you can do that with another thing as well called the hook, which the heavy also has, but this is just funner. This feels more like an exploit, which is fun. Yeah. Oh, also, something I recently did in the finals, or like recently started doing. I guess this sort of forces me to aim again, but for some reason, aiming with a goo gun is easier than aiming with an actual gun. But the heavy has this thing called a goo gun, which is his like ability. He has three abilities. He has like a giant shield. He has a charge and slam where he like runs forward and just slams into people, and then he has a goo gun. And normally with like the sledgehammer, what you do is you play charge and slam because it helps you get closer to people. You can run at them, do damage to them, and like jump on top of them and do damage to them. The goo gun just shoots balls of goo onto the map. And you can use it to like help you parkour, build platforms, close doors, and stuff like that. It's like really utility based. But what you can also do with it is you can shoot it at somebody, and if you successfully hit somebody with a goo gun, they get like encased in a ball of goo for like half a second or like a second, and then the goo ball breaks and they can move around again. So if you're good enough, you can you can shoot a goo gun at somebody, stick them into place, change to your hammer, slide towards them, and just smash them out of it. And do that over and over again. So you switch to goo gun, shoot them, run over to them, smash them, and switch to goo gun again and do that, and you can combo a light player to death with that. It's a little harder than charging into them, of course, but the thing is, the goo gun doesn't have a cooldown. So if you get good at it, it's amazing. And I've been doing it, and it's so satisfying because you just shoot goo at somebody's head, they get stuck in place, and then you slide over to them and cave in their kneecaps. And lights mostly can't do anything about it. And you can just chase after people, just shooting goo at them. And the most fun part, or another fun part, is just because it's just a utility tool besides using it for combat. When you successfully start a cash out and like you have to defend it, just blast goo everywhere, just goo all over the place. I close up every window, every door, every staircase, just get covered in goo to block off everything. And it's a nightmare for anything to come in. And when they do come in, I have a melee weapon. So them being close ranged is the best thing for me. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I love the finals. Anyway, I'm gonna stop the rant there. But yeah, highly recommend it. If you haven't played the finals, play the finals. It's fun. If you're not good at shooters, use the sledgehammer. It'll be very, very satisfying. Jank is the best. Jank is the best indeed. But yeah, that's probably my most played game at the moment is the finals, just because it's very easy to just go in, play around, get out. That's it. You know, I'm less interested in like more time sinking games at the moment. Like I don't play many games that like take a lot of time anymore. I used to be like really into Warframe. And I love the world and all of that, but I just don't want to bother actually playing it anymore because it's fun, but it's just a lot of grinding, and I'd rather just go into a match, get my serotonin, and then just leave. And you can't really do that with I mean, you can go into a mission in Warframe, play the mission, and then leave and move but then you'd never get anything done because you got to do that a lot to get anything done in that game. I feel like cool weapons with war dancers would be weaponized poi or fire staff to complete their dancerness. Yeah, that would actually be cool. MMO is the grind. Yeah. I mean, just other games as well that are just like a little less quick. I stopped enjoying, or like games that use creativity for some reason. I stopped like Minecraft and stuff. I'm not interested in that anymore. I used to be crazy about it as a kid. I want to play Minecraft. I never got my hands on it, and I used to play it a lot as a kid, like the phone version. Um, and I'd build like cities and shit and stuff. But nowadays it's like I'd rather just have a game that gives me a very clear objective of what I'm supposed to do, have me finish that objective, and that's it. You know? Like I don't want to express myself in a game anymore. I mean, in the finals you can still make builds and stuff. I still like making character builds and trying out different things and different combos. That's fun. But like aimless games where it's just like creativity comes first. Yeah, I very quickly stop having anything to do. Get so bored with survival. Creative Minecraft? Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'd be even less interested in creative survival or creative mode. If fear than lobotomizing your soldiers to feel no fear makes them curse proof. Well, it sort of works on thought instead of fears. I guess fears as well, mostly negative emotions, but like thoughts as well. If it doesn't have any fears, I guess it would just use something else. So you wouldn't really cure them of curses. Creation is what you do all the time. Yeah, I guess so. It's also that where it's like the outlet of creativity for me is drawing, so I don't really need it in the form of a game anymore. Although the one I very much enjoyed was From the Depths. That's a building game I very much enjoyed. Because I like building things with purpose, you know? Like aesthetically, yeah, sure. I like aesthetic things not so much, but like I like building things that have a function. And building a boat to destroy another boat is very fun. And designing guns and stuff like that game sucked up like a year of my life probably because I just spent so long, many nights designing boats or aircrafts and trying to make them most efficient, compact, and cheap as possible. Um, that was so fun. But yeah, I had to stop myself from playing the game. It wasn't like I got bored of that game. I had to stop by choice because I was like, this is not good. I was spending too much time with it, and because it was so creatively gratifying, I wasn't motivated to draw at all after playing it because I would like I'd play it the whole day designing a ship and then playing it in the campaign, and then at the end of the day I'd be like, wow, that was a productive day. And then I'd actually realize, wow, I didn't do shit today. Like I was productive, yeah, in a game, you know. I was being very productive, making a fictional, non-existent ship in a game, fighting against other AI non-existent chips. Like I didn't get anything done, but it felt so good, so productive. Like I just had a day's work, did nothing. So I had to stop. It was not good. Yeah. God, you know what I wished would come back? Um, I don't know if anybody else remembers it, but it was definitely my favorite game for a really long time, or when it was still good. Uh, Robocraft, if anyone knows that one. It was a vehicle building PvP game, uh, where you just build a vehicle out of little blocks and then fight other people with vehicles built out of blocks. And it's basically like Crossout as well. Crossout is also that kind of game. But it was so good back then. Holy shit, was it good. But they fucked it up royally. Like the people who made the game fucked it up so bad. Basically, the game used to have a tech tree, and that motivated you to play the damn game, you know? Because every gun had a tier. It wasn't even that it wasn't even that crazy. Like it was just you had 10 tiers uh of fast shooting guns, 10 tiers of shotguns, 10 tiers of sniper rifle, 10 tiers of blocks, 10 tiers of wheels, 10 tiers, and all of them are just increments in like health, durability, damage, and like that's it. And like shield blocks and stuff like that. So it wasn't even that deep, you know? But but just the idea of like like your car slowly shifted from block type to block type because you kept accumulating money, buying a few little blocks of the next tier and then putting it on your car, and then buying the next gun, and then you're like, oh fuck, I finally have one tier 5 gun and the rest are tier 4. It's like so good. And then they removed the fucking tier system, and now there's only one type of block, and then like guns have rarities, and then there's fucking loot crates now, and oh my god, and it was, it was heartbreaking. I hated every change. Like they got a new game mode where like you had to defend crystal towers instead and shoot the crystals to like steal them, and that was really fun. But then as soon as like the tiers disappeared, I was like, what the fuck? What did you just do? Like that whole motivation of like moving up the tiers, buying new weapons and shit like that, the tech tree, all of it gone, you know? And they just kept fucking it up more and more. And like, oh god. And Robocraft 2 Craft 2 was really fun, but they scrapped it. Yeah, that's the thing. Robocraft 2 came out and I played the test of it as well. And it was very interesting. I think it was fun. Like I enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing the test of it. They added so much more, but the building system for me, I think I didn't like as much. It was a lot more confusing, if that makes like I knew they wanted to iterate and give more possibilities. So instead you can like now instead of having just one by one cubes to build robots with, you can stretch blocks in different directions. And it makes them take up more space, but they also have more defense. But the issue with that is it sort of makes it really confusing. Because, like, what do you want to make? Do you want, like, one big fat block in the front of your car to protect the car, or do you want small little blocks all over the place to protect the car? I do prefer the building in RC2. Yeah, I like the one in 1 more because of just how in like simple it was. It was just blocks, one by one blocks. And I like the Tetris in the first one where it's like you can guide damage through your vehicle by building the blocks a certain way, because explosion damage sort of happens, like for example, if an explosion hits your block here, it propagates throughout your vehicle one block at a time. So for example, if your vehicle is like this, and you have a gun on this spot of the vehicle, if an explosion happens here, it propagates to the next block and destroys your gun. So what you can do is you can put a half block here instead. Um, and so like on the outside it looks normal, but these two blocks aren't connected. So instead, if an explosion hits here, it has to travel here or here, then here, then here. So you can do that throughout your whole vehicle so that things are connected way deeper and in different ways than it seems, so things are a lot tougher. In the second one is I just didn't figure that out as much. The thing is with Robocraft 2, I only didn't like the block stretching. But the rotor blocks and like the hinges and that sort of stuff, the detachment blocks, I loved all of those. Those were such good ideas. Yeah, the custom turrets beautiful. Even if they were worse than just normal turrets. I just putting down the normal turrets was actually better, but the custom turrets just felt so nice to build and just making like a big fat turret head. But also like the you did you like play around with the collision? Because you can make like the eating bots that they showed off where you can put hinges on two like plates and just smash them into a robot and it does damage to them, so you can just one shot robots by like basically just eating them. Or you can make jumping robots as well. The one I just enjoyed the most was I just made I put rotors on hinges to the wheels of the car, and so on the press of a button, my car would just launch up into the air, like just jump, and I can use that to like maneuver more and shit. Um, but oh, and also I made a catapult. You can do that as well. There's explosion blocks in the game, right? So you can detach an explosion block into like a basket, and then have like a rotor that spins that launches the basket and throws the explosion out. So you can make the explosive block a ranged weapon, which was really interesting. So it had really good ideas. I just the servers were fucked. That was one thing. Like the matches were ungodly laggy. I don't know how the fuck they did it that badly. But yeah, now they canceled it and they were like, "Oh, never mind. We're just gonna do what everyone's been crying about and just bring back uh Robocraft 1, but like the version from 2015 or whenever the fuck it was still good." So that's what they're doing now. They canceled Robocraft 2 because everybody hated it. I thought it had potential, like if they just fucking fiddled with it a little, but never mind. And they're going back to 1. But again, they're not releasing the 2015 version straight up. They are revamping it, so they're redoing all the models and all the textures and stuff like that to like clean it up. Which I'm like, why are you bothering? I'm guessing that they probably don't have the original code anymore, so they need to like actually just rebuild the game from ground up to make it that way. So that's why it's taking long instead of just throwing out the old version again. But they're just revamping everything to make it look nice, and I'm like, you don't need to do that. Just make it again. I guess it's not that simple as just saying make it again, but still. Because Free Gem went bankrupt. Wait, the studio that made it went bankrupt? Well, then the 1 is not going to happen anyway. Company's gone. Well, shit. Okay, never mind. I guess we're not going to have Robocraft 1 again either. That's a shame. Yeah, because the reason is, I load or cross out was sort of like a upgraded version of Robocraft. Was supposed to be sort of an upgraded version of Robocraft, but the grindiness in that game sort of made it a lot less appealing, like the crafting system and grinding for recipes and stuff. It was just a lot more pasted onto something that was unnecessary for it to be pasted onto. Like they could have just like the combat's great, but just make it easier to get all the weapons and stuff just to make people enjoy it more. You know, everything else was a grind about it, so that sort of turned me off of the game. And the servers are fucked as well for some reason. I don't know if it's just the Asian servers or something, but the servers in that game absolutely fucked. That's the main reason why I stopped playing it. Pardon me, but what canvas size do you tend to use for Krita? Um, Depends. Normally, this is just a A4 canvas turned on its side, so it's A4 300 pixel whatever. Um, just A4. It doesn't really matter to me because to me the designs are what matters. So the resolution normally is very bad um, for my canvases, or typically I draw things for the sake of the videos. So like I draw them on 100 and no 1920 by 1080 canvas. So just the size of the screen or of the video. So the resolution is shit. Like it just is for the video purely. and wouldn't be able to like be turned into a print outside of that or whatever. I just have to completely redraw it, which is not good. I don't recommend doing that. Like, have some foresight. If you want, just make a big canvas, big enough, and then just because you can always go lower. You can't go higher, you know. But I guess also it's gonna make Krita chug along harder. So balance it, but just make it big enough. Because if you want to do something else with it, it's better to have it be a higher resolution image than not. Yeah. Oh shit. I gotta head out soon. Go pick up my girlfriend from work. Why not make it bigger, lol? Because I'm stupid and I'm stubborn. So I've decided to make it this size, and I'm gonna stick with it. That's literally the only reason. I totally agree. It would be a lot better if I just made it bigger. They don't. But also just because my computer is not that good. It's good enough, but at at bigger canvas sizes, it's really sometimes it really struggles if I have too many layers or filters. So I sort of have to keep it to a minimum. What if the spike on the top of the head had a little torch on it? Well, it does. Not a fire torch. It's just a piece of cloth sticking out to resemble a candle, but still, it does have like a little poof of fabric. Here. I'm gonna clean this up off stream. I think I'll end it for now because I need to get ready to go pick up my girlfriend. And then that's probably gonna be it for the streams today. I'll work on it off stream, and tomorrow I'll definitely stream again. That's for sure. Feel a lot motivated. I feel a lot motivated. What? I feel very motivated. But yeah, I hope you all have a good day. Good rest of the day. Really appreciate you guys, and thank you for the support and sticking with me throughout all the bullshit of or all of my ups and downs. But yeah, really appreciate it genuinely. So